Once again, I'm Chris Capel from Dizzy Pig. We're going to talk wings today. We got Super Bowl coming up. A bunch of wings are cooked. A bunch of wings are cooked a bunch of different ways. I'm going to show you how we cook them in our competition. So we won 54 top 10 chicken awards in 134 contests. And our biggest claim to fame in chicken is second place at the Jack Daniel's World Championships. So this is how we cooked our chicken there. And a lot of people cook them in different ways. We very much, you don't cook them like other competition teams. We kind of got our own way of doing it. That's what I'm gonna show you today. All right, so we got these big wings. You make sure to get the jumbo wings, or like the largest wings you can find. And don't get the party cut because they hack them up in all different ways and they don't cook very well. So anyway, I got these big wings and we're going to talk trimming now. Oh, don't forget to send your comments. If you have any questions, Autumn's over here right now. She's taking the questions as they come in. If you got anything, just shout out. So if you buy the wings at the store that are party wings, they're basically, I'll do it with this one. They basically hack it right in between the drumette and the flat. Okay, so then what you end up with is this flat that's like just mangled, and the flat is like the best part of the chicken. The flat's the part with the two bones. So what I like to do, and what we do in competitions, is I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut right down the skin on the drumstick and go into the bone. And then I'm going to spin it around like a crank. I'm going to push all the meat up on the drumsticks and make sure I have all the tendons cut. And I'm just going to pull that joint out of there. Okay, so now what I have is just a nice wing that's totally covered in skin. As you can see with the party wing, it's kind of hacked up. You know, that might be an extreme example, but you know, when they cut them like that, it's not good. When you do it like that, it's great. I cut the wing tip off. And that's my wing. I got pretty big hands, so you can see how big that wing is. And then on the drumette, I like to push all the meat up onto the end. You got a little lollipop, and those cook up great too. Once again, I'll show you here. You want to leave all the skin on the flat that you can and go like right into the bone on the drumstick. Turn it around. Scrape it up. Yank it out. And cut off the tip. One person told me I was like silly for doing this, but I don't think so. I think it's a good idea if you want a good flat. That bone's broken. The chicken got mangled. I'll go ahead and roll through the last two of these so we can season them up, and you can see what we do for the whole process. Any questions coming in yet? I mean, like, they said what?
Josh said that silly is stuffing chicken wings and that he'll never do it again.
Oh yeah, yeah. I talk to people about that at the classes. I do as well. You know, if you're trying to cook something, don't complicate it. Cook it perfectly. Pay attention to what's going on, and everybody's going to be a lot happier. Because they don't care that it's stuffed. If you're trying to impress, that's fine, but you better be able to perform. All right, so that's basically how I prep the wings. In competitions, I brine the wings. And two-thirds of a cup of coarse kosher salt to a gallon of water, and then about a cup of sugar or maple sugar is what we use. You can flavor it with anything you want. With the Tsunami Spin, we use a fresh ginger, and I brine the wings for 3 hours. That's what we do in competition. It just gives it that little bite underneath, but it's not necessary at all. All right, so for seasoning, take my glove off here. We're gonna use Tsunami Spin because that's really what's won us all these awards. A lot of people said we shouldn't use this in competitions because it's not a typical barbecue flavor. But the judges seem to write down really high scores when we use it, which is why we keep using it. Our stuff's pretty low in salt, so I put it on pretty heavily. I usually leave it on for 5 or 10 minutes to kind of, set in and melt in. Then I'll flip them over and do the other side. But I don't want to keep you guys on here for that long. So I'm just going to press them in and flip them over.
Patrick Bowman wants to know if you're saving the wingtips for soup.
I am saving those wingtips for soup. I got a big bag in my freezer at home, and I just throw them in there. I try not to waste any of this stuff, especially because it makes great broth. So anyway, that's how I season them up. So basically, what we're doing now, I think you might have caught it on the first part that we had to abort because it was sideways. But I was flipping the chicken over on the grill. So I've been cooking these wings for a little over 45 minutes now at about 275 over a direct fire. The key is I'm not using a whole ton of charcoal because I don't want the fire to get out of control. It's a controlled amount of charcoal, it's a controlled fire, and they're cooking right over the charcoal, so they're browning real nice. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go out and we're gonna pull them off, and actually we're gonna sauce the drumettes. I've got some Blues Hog here, which is one of my favorite sauces of all time. So we're gonna sauce up the drumettes, but I'm gonna leave the flats unsauced because they're plenty good that way. So I'm not sure how you serve them. You don't have to have sauce. You can serve it on the side. If you put too much sauce on, you can kill everything that's underneath. So anyway, so let's go take those wings off the grill. Disposable cutting board. They're looking pretty nice in here. I don't like the sauce, too long before they're done. But to go ahead and lay it on for like a minute tops. I mean, I'll put the sauce on, I'll flip them over, I'll put some on the other side, and they're ready to come off. You don't really need to cook the sauce on forever, and you don't want to risk burning the sugars in them anyway. I don't know if you can see down there how much charcoal I have. But it's not a ton of charcoal, and it makes it a lot easier, especially on a windy day like this. If you have a ton of charcoal in there and you're saucing these things or flipping them and the lid's open for a while, that wind will rush in and your fire will get out of control. Flip you guys over. I can already smell that sauce starting to caramelize. Catch that sugar flavor dripping on the coal. Like I like to cook these things about an hour. You can cook them, in a half hour if you want, but it's over a hotter fire and it's more risky. I mean, you got a chance of charring those things beyond recognition. So we really like a longer cook, about an hour. That gives time for it to caramelize. And so you can see how controlled that fire is. It's not getting out of control on me. It's allowing me to do my work here. If you ever start to get a bunch of flame ups when you're doing something like this, just pull the whole grate off, put it on the table, close your egg so it's not getting any more air, and then go ahead and do your work and then put the grate back on. That's a little trick we use in competition, especially on a windy day. All right, those things are sauced. They're all ready to come off.
So Josh wants to know what the grate is raised on.
Oh, this is a Wu ring. It extra large woo from the ceramic grill store. Big Green Egg has this new expander like setup that we're actually anxious to try, but this is what I've been using for many years. And I love cooking up here a little higher because it's a lot more even heat. You don't have to worry as much about it charring. Oh, those got some nice color there. Put that one on top. That's beautiful. You might not put that in your competition box because it's a little too dark, but it tastes better than all the other ones.
William says your wings look beautiful as always.
All right. Thank you, William. I don't know if it's because I love cooking chicken or what, but now you basically know how it's done. Hey, Autumn.
Yeah.
This plate's starting to get heavy. Would you mind holding that?
No.
Oh man, I wish y'all could smell this. You
Smells
hear
really
right
good.
now in this Northern Virginia Manassas air. We just got done a lot of rain. Now the wind's gonna come in. Of course, everybody's had a lot of rain, I guess. See how long I've had that egg open and that fire is still just kind of idling down there. It's happy because there's not a lot of charcoal to catch on fire, but it's plenty enough to get the job done. All right, so go on inside and we'll make sure these guys are done properly. Actually, why don't you grab me that thermopan out of the top drawer wherever you go, so I can tell everybody what the internal temperature is. You know, a great thing about wings is they're really hard to overcook, unless you really dry them out to the point where they have no weight left and they're light like a popcorn fart. I could feel these still have some weight. I wouldn't be surprised if they were 190. I'm gonna check here. We only got 160 in that one. Let's see one of these smaller ones. 167. This guy here, we got 158. So those are a little less. But let's see how they came out.
Brett wants to know if he can come by and do a taste test for you.
Come on. Our team here is going to eat well, but if you're in the area, come on by and grab one. Oh, we're in Manassas, Virginia, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know where we are. We're at Dizzy Pig headquarters. So I'm going to take this guy, and what you want is for the bones to be able to pull apart easily like that. So that's got some good moisture. These guys were 165, 170. I don't mind taking them to 185 or 190. Yeah. They were perfect. All right. I hope you guys have a great Super Bowl and cook some good wings. Next Thursday, we're going to do Ask Chris. So get your questions ready. Actually, send them to us in advance if you want. I'll be answering people's any kind of questions that you have about cooking or technique or like stories that we've had on the competition trail. Wherever you want to hear, just like send them in and we're going to answer them. Our website has a ton of info and recipes, so feel free to go there and peruse around. And remember, it's more about watching how your food is cooking than it is about temperature and time. In other words, if you ain't looking, you ain't cooking. So happy Thursday. We'll see y'all next Thursday.